Hey everybody, it's Mark again. Still working on this Poppo Cuckoo Clock, and it's been giving me some issues. I put the movement back together. Time side function test worked great. Strike side function test wasn't working, and I finally figured out the issue. There was a burr on the inside of the plate, and so sometimes you have to take and just put one single gear in and rotate it like this to make sure that it all spins properly. This gear, which had the cam on it with the gathering pin, had a dimple inside the movement, which was causing this not to move freely. So because I have it all apart, I'm going to go ahead and test the other gears on the strike side. So I'm looking for the third wheel with warning pin and put that in by itself. Put the plate back on. Line it up and test this gear by itself. It is working. However, I don't know if you can see what I see. The eclipse that Poppo used in this case is too big, because I'm going to have to rotate the eclipse, because the eclipse, let me get something to point with, the eclipse is touching the third wheel with warning pin. But if I rotate it, maybe it won't touch. Okay, it won't touch on that end. So I'm not liking the third wheel with warning pin. There's no inch shake in it. So I'm going to have to fix that. Same thing. I can feel a dimple on the inside of this plate. So I'm going to take my ball peen hammer and hit that. So now, let me put the third wheel with warning pin in, which is already there. And put the back plate on and see if I have inch shake, and see if that gear spins freely on its own So now it's spinning freely on its own. So sometimes you have to investigate, and I've been doing clock repair on my own clocks for a while now. And so a lot of stuff I forgot. But if you go with the, when you put the movement together, and I was at a friend's house, and I think he's got my tweezers. So I don't have a good pair of tweezers to test for end shake. I've got these, but when you put a movement together, you want to make sure there's end shake in every one of the gears. And this one didn't have that much end shake. It had some, but it didn't have enough. You want to make sure that it clearly has end shake, or there's going to be issues when you put it together. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the governing band by itself. Yeah, these movements are cheap. Yeah, I could buy another one, but why? I repair clocks. I'm not a parts changer. So if you want to be a parts changer, buy another movement. I like figuring out what's wrong. I take that back. Compared to other movements, cuckoo clock movements are cheap. However, let's say you buy a clock for $50, a used clock. And then you spend another $80 putting a brand new movement in it. Now you got $130 in this movement, plus your time. You might be able to sell the clock for $200. Is it worth spending the $80? Are you doing this for a living, to buy and sell clocks? Are you doing it to buy and collect clocks? I buy and collect clocks myself, but why would I want to spend $80 for a one-day cuckoo clock movement when I could sit here and figure out what's going on with the movements and fix it myself? So anyway, this video is, the whole purpose of this video is if you have an issue with your movement, especially a cuckoo clock movement, because these things are cheaply designed. The plates are thin. You can easily bend part of it. So if you're having an issue with your clock, go back to the basics and put one gear in at a time and spin it. It should spin freely on its own. And if it doesn't, then you know you have an issue. Start feeling it. Take a smooth cutting broach and broach out the pivot holes. There's something wrong with it. First thing to do is put the gear in and check for end shake. Since I'm already here, I might as well check the strike side great wheel to make sure it moves freely, which it does, to make sure it has plenty of end shake, which it does, so I can confidently put this movement back together and know that it's going to work. So I hope y'all like this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and may God bless each and every one of you.